Sure, there are many blacks now in Louisiana who are going to sleep after having come out to the polls and voted Dukes down, and who are feeling very proud about their voting prowess, and who saw the danger as Dukes, who forgot their history, by the way, and remembered that at another time in history they were able to vote too, and those votes were taken away from them, and it took almost 100 years for them to regain the right to vote. So that, in a sense, this voting against Duke does not necessarily represent black power. It was the absence of black power during the Reconstruction that permitted the voting, the franchise that blacks had for voting, to be taken away. What then makes us sure that this franchise won't be taken away again? What have we done as a people to ensure that our right to vote will be determined by our power, not by the power of others? And I think we've done relatively little in that regard. There are some who are forgetting that 55% of whites voted for David. Did those 55% of the majority of whites who voted just walk away and forget about what they were concerned with simply because Duke didn't win office, or are they still there? In other words, then, the issue moves beyond David Duke to the fact that we have a large number of whites who have certain attitudes, and those whites are still alive and well, and those attitudes are still there whether David Duke lives or dies tomorrow. So the issue is not Duke. The issue is a group of white folk, and a sizable group of white folk, who has specific types of attitudes, who are still there, and who still then pose a threat to black freedom. In fact, Duke alone poses no threat to black folk. He's one person. You get the same kind of game that goes on with Hitler. We get the white media that projects the mad Hitler. Hitler, who through his great oratory hypnotizes the German people. That's nonsense. Hitler did not build the concentration camps alone. Hitler did not go into Poland by himself. It took a whole German nation to cooperate with Hitler. If the German nation did not accept Hitler and support Hitler, then Hitler could not have had any influence or effect on history whatsoever. But we have a media, you see, that makes you perceive Hitler as the bad guy. It was the German people in relationship to Hitler that created the problem. And in the end, then, it won't be individuals only, it will be groups of people against other groups of people. But if you have this tendency then to get caught up in individuals, you're going to miss the group phenomena, and you will miss often the organization of whole armies and whole groups of people against you. And you will be made to think simply because you vote down one individual, you have solved your problem. You could be no more wrong. You cannot be more wrong. What am I saying here then? We not only must read newspapers, but we must continue to educate ourselves in how to read them.